that is a nuke, and it's coming his way. What do we got? How are we doing?
Artemis is taking damage.
Ooh! Oh, God. All right. That guy's dead. That guy's dead. It's like Pokemon. It's super effective. Yeah, that thing is super effective. So right now we've got a lot of movement going on the field as we prepare to take on Chapter 9 Permissive Action Link, where currently nuclear warheads are in play for the very first time. So if we take a look at the Cylon fleets at the moment, we've got Cylon Fleet 58 down here in the Helios Gamma cluster, and they've got 2,700 points in the Cylon Command. So right now we've got Fleet Group Trainee. They've got 5,000 points to their name. They've got a Ranger, one of the first that we have. We've got 2 Minotaurs, an Adamant, and 3 of our Manticore corvettes, and we're going to chase that thing down, so they're mid-jump. Right now, we have Fleet Group Wanderer taking a rest and regrouping in Gnosis, and we have a backup Artemis Battlestar that's jumping on over to reinforce them, and we're shifting 2 of the Manticores here back over to the Daedalus shipyard. The Daedalus shipyard now is a Ranger as well. So we've got our Artemis Battlestar, we've got 1 Ranger, we have 2 Minotaur gunships, 2 Adamants, and 1, I guess, like Scout Manticore at the moment. And hopefully we're going to be able to, you know, attack more effectively on Permissive Action Link. So we're going to go in and end the turn, see how everything pans out. Looks like nice. So Fleet Group Trainee is actually going to get an opportunity to engage in combat for the very first time. So that's pretty epic. So we've got 6 contacts here. We've got our Minotaur gunship. I suppose we shall stay off to the side. We've got another Minotaur gunship. We shall maybe just run screen right here. We've got an Adamant with a Viper squadron. I guess we shall stay in between. And we've got a Ranger for the first time. Now, I don't know what the Ranger's all about. I know that they've got munitions. So we've got long-range guided missiles. We only have 1 of these, though. Unguided munitions, probably not the best for us here. And armor penetration missiles. I almost feel like we can send armor piercers. I've never used them before. So let's try them out. We're going to get armor piercer missiles. And then, well, maybe we'll get 1 guided and 1 armor piercer, and then we'll be able to send them over together and see how they play out amongst each other. So, and then we've got our Adamant, we have Viper Mark IIs, we've got guided missiles, that's perfect, and then we've got 3 Manticores, 2 of which apparently have guided missiles. I feel like let's go all guided missiles here. That'll work just fine, and we shall just group up and gain a little elevation here. The nebula makes it a little difficult to see, but I think this is going to be fine. So we've got 3 Manticores, Minotaurs. Maybe we'll have, yeah, we'll keep the Adamant in the middle and maybe a little towards the back, and let us proceed. I think the Ranger, as I read, it's a little longer range. It's a little bit of a longer range vessel. It's large and it's got 2 missile hardpoints, but obviously, I probably don't want it to get too close. It's not as durable, let's say, as the other ships, right? So what do we got? Here is the Ranger. So I've never actually looked at the turret layout here, right? So it looks like we've got front turrets. Actually don't know too much about how it's armed, believe it or not. I just know that it's got 2 munitions hardpoints. That's what we know, yeah? And then it also has 90. Oh, I just realized it's our flagship as well. So we better keep it in the back, right? We better keep it in the back. Let's go ahead and turn our Minotaurs around. We're going to dive and split. And hopefully we'll be able to manage this before we make contact with the Cylons. And we'll dive down and we're going to launch 2 squadrons. Oh, launch our 1 squadron of Viper Mark IIs. And we're going to have our Manticores basically crank over. There it is. And we're going to go wide and let us hold. Oh, we're going to collide. Okay, fair enough. All right, we're going to split is what we're going to do. So we're just going to select 1 Manticore. We're going to turn that around.
So say we
We're going to take the other Manticore. We're going to turn that around. And then we're going to have 1 come out and then completely just scatter. And then we'll turn the Ranger around and let's go. We're just trying to pull that 180, right? We just need a little time. So we're launching Viper Mark IIs. We've got one squadron this time, so no over-reliance on the Viper Mark II anymore. Let's get our Viper Mark II, and we're basically using him to scout and try to intercept if, you know, that's almost guaranteed that's a nemesis. Let's just send him into the thick of things and find out what happens. That's always the best way for me to do it, right? So let's just come it around.
Yes, Commander.
We've got our Manticores.
Yes, Commander.
And we just got to group up again, right? And then we've got our Minotaurs. Just turn and dive.
Yes, sir.
And then our Adamant. Turn and dive.
Understood.
There it is. And then we'll just have the Ranger. I don't know if we should dive or not. I guess we'll just stay somewhere in the middle and we'll hang tight. We need to make contact first before we start launching anything, right? We're just going to try to screen for the Ranger. There goes our lone Viper squadron. I'm a little nervous for that guy. Let's be real. I don't have the best track record with, you know, finessing a bunch of Vipers. So hopefully they're going to be all right. I don't know. Maybe we can have like 20 Starbuck in there. Actually, no, let's not have that. She's not exactly the most reliable. The most reliable pilot. There we go. Move, move, move. And we don't have any incoming squadrons as far as I can tell. We'll have the Minotaur come around and dive. We will have the Adamant kind of group up and turn.
Understood.
And we're just trying to reverse everything at the moment. And then we will slow our roll. There it is. All right, here we go. And there's a Nemesis out here. Nemesis located, identified. That's a lot of unguided munitions. Are they all Nemesis? Actually, legit, that's a lot of unguided munitions that we just barely dodged with our lives. I almost feel like since they all fired at the Manticores, we've got 1, 2, 3. I almost guaranteed that's a Nemesis, which means we might be up against 6 Nemesis. I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, I'd almost think unguided munitions probably better. Let's go and get our Ranger. We're going to dive down. We're going to switch over to an attack posture. We're going to select armor piercer rounds. I don't know if we need it necessarily, but let's hit the guy in the back. And then we're going to select guided munitions and send it there as well. Now, our Manticores, on the other hand, I don't know who's targeting whom. This guy was targeted by a bunch of unguided munitions. Makes me think all of these are coming for him. So save you alone is what I gotta say. We're gonna switch to a defensive posture. We're gonna turn like crazy and just try not to die. There it is. And we'll go ahead and launch guided munitions at the flyby.
Missiles on their way.
We'll have our 2 Manticores kind of form up on the line. And we're gonna select both of them, fire munitions at the flyby. We'll have our Minotaur gunship. It'll head down. Let's go in an attack posture and we'll target the lead. And we're going to do a little bit of the same, except I'm going to go in and try to drive this like a wedge right through the Nemesis. So we're going to crank out like that with boost thrusters. The Adamant is going to be an attack posture. And we'll just follow the gunship and focus fire on the same target. And I think our Rangers, yeah, we already fired at the guy right behind. All right, perfect. So this is going to be interesting. I'm curious how the Rangers
IFF
works.
confirms unit is hostile.
So what do we got here? All Nemesis. We got 6 Nemesis. There's the Ranger. This Manticore, it's right. That's who they were targeting. All right, so obviously we won't really find out what's happening with a Ranger until, you know, it's too late. So I almost feel like at this point, the Ranger needs to come off the attack posture and start circling, like spinning in circles. Because I don't really want him to get close, right? It's all about the missiles, as I understand it, right? So let's go in and crank it over, and we'll dive. We'll do the same with this Minotaur, and we're gonna take this Minotaur, come off, and just stay low. This guy, I doubt he's being targeted anymore, but let's go ahead and turn him around and come into repair engineering. And then we'll get these 2 Manticores. And we'll switch over to an attack posture and assist, right? So we'll just kind of come down, do a flyby. We're going to go in and focus on the lead as we do it. And let's see how this fares, because, I mean, they're all equal, right? So let's just... I mean, I would like to have the Viper Mark II. I mean, I guess it's focusing on the same. Sure, why not?
Is confirmed.
All right, let's go. So this is the guy. Wow. Mind you, armor piercers hit this guy, right? I can't tell which was which. I almost kind of wish I shot armor piercers at one target and shot the guided munitions at another so I could see the difference. But then again, they're being shot, so it's fine. It's fine. Here we go. Let's just charge right through them.
So say we all.
We'll be in an attack posture with this Minotaur gunship. He's being hacked to bits. And even the Adamant's going to ignore the fact that the front armor is the weakest at this point. And our Manticores are going to continue to support from above. Like this. And we might as well chase them.
So say we all.
Focus. And let us go. We still seem to be in the green for the most part. I mean, they're just getting routed. That's awesome. And then we can probably turn the Ranger around. I think it's every 3 turns we can fire the munitions, yeah? So we'll have our Ranger switch on over to an attack posture, turn it around. We've got Armor Piercer. Sure, we'll send it at Cylon command as well as guided missiles. Let's do that. That's great. And then we got our Manticore. Let's come off, go into a neutral posture, and we're going to move to pursue. It's 1 turn until they've got their munitions back online. And let's actually take these Manticores, and they're going to start to peel off and head towards Cylon command, whatever the heck that is. And let's see. Let's go. Oh, they just missed us with the unguided munitions, but we do not have unguided munitions, and this Cylon command is a bust. There it is. Okay, that's great. I mean, obviously we didn't get to hit him with everything, but that's all right. That's all right. How much do they have left? If we go our Viper Mark IIs, they haven't even been touched. They've got a Cylon Elite. I mean, honestly, let's finish off the Elite and everyone turn and chase that guy, because the Cylon Elite, just by chasing this guy, we're going to give the Cylon Elite broadsides, and that guy's almost dead. So that's kind of epic. That's kind of awesome. Manticores. Well, let's turn it around. I don't know if they're going to be able to do too much. We'll just do that, and yeah, we'll just have this Ranger turn towards the enemy, and we'll just have this Manticore turn towards that Nemesis, and we'll go ahead and guide missiles right on in. Why not? Why not? Let's do it. Fire munitions and hit the guy with more health. There it is. Adamant. Fire munitions. Sure. Shoot the Cylon Elite. And we're 1 turn away on the Ranger, so let's do it. Here we go. So there's the Cylon Elite. He's not feeling very elite right now. Dear God. Holy moly. Yep. That'll do it. And this guy's getting targeted next just naturally. Well, let's go ahead and armor pierce to the guy that actually has armor. How about that?
Missiles on their way.
Here comes our Ranger. I still don't know what I think about it, but man, it can shoot missiles pretty quickly. So that means... Wow. Yep. That'll do it. That will do it. Poor Nemesis. I feel like the only way that we're going to be able to see what the Ranger does is A, if they've got tougher targets, and then also if we do the replay, because then we're really going to be able to look a little bit closer, right? So there it is. I mean, he doesn't have any armor to pierce anymore. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Nice one for Fleet Group Trainee. That's excellent. So does he get a promotion here? Lieutenant Colonel rank 2. That's awesome. So if we go to officers, we go to Charlie, and we try to promote 100 requisition points. I mean, that CIC subsystem strength. You know what? I'm gonna splurge a little bit on Mr. Charlie here, and he can have a whole nother point to the CIC. Promotion. He didn't actually engage. Gisela, she's got 90 requisition points to finish that. I mean, at this point, you know what? She can manage. She can manage. She's been doing a good job. And Damon Greeley's 126 requisition points. That's not bad. They've been putting in the work, yeah? Well, Fleet Group Trainee is doing well. That's excellent. We have Fleet Group Pogo. They're doing well. And Fleet Group Daedalus, currently, are we building anything? We're not even building anything. My goodness. Wow. I just realized that right now. Well, let's actually bring Fleet Group Daedalus in. They've got the most diverse cast in their fleet group, and we're going to make the jump over to Permissive Action Link. So we're going to go ahead and jump right on in. There it is. And we're going to group up our... Well, actually, we've got to vacate the premises. We're going to remove 2 of the Manticores here. We're going to join up with the Mercury, our second Artemis Battlestar, and a Fleet Group Wanderer, and there it is. So Fleet Group Wanderer is now up to 5850 points, 150 point deficit out of the capacity, and we'll go ahead and take a transfer and group together of the 2 Manticores, basically as a backup at this point, and then we'll go ahead and jump Fleet Group Wanderer to move and counter. And we're also going to jump just so these Manticores aren't alone, and we'll confirm the jump. There it is. Awesome. And actually, now that I think about it, we've got the Manticore here. Oh, because we were transferring over. I guess we can group them in, right? There it is. Fleet Group Pogo is now up to 4950. Perfect. Perfect. Excellent. The fleets are feeling pretty good. They're in a good shape right now. So let's go in an end turn and let's see what we can do. Excellent. Fleet Group Daedalus, here it is. Chapter 9. This is a big one. Nukes, right? Nukes. We've got nukes on this one. So hopefully they're not just going to insta-gib our Daedalus shipyard. That would be bad. Chapter 9, Permissive Action Link, Aquaria. So we've actually got to help build a nuclear arsenal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Dratus contacts. Looks like we've got 2 ships on the side right here. And we are actually facing and squaring off against the enemy. So we've got ourselves a Ranger in the Undine. You know, as much as I really like... you know what? As much as I like to have a little bit of everything, what's the range? 80,000, 1.6 second delay. Armor damage 12. Effective against armor plating, low hull damage. I feel like I'm going to double Armor Piercer because I almost guarantee they're going to have Revenants, yeah? And I want to open those things up like a freaking tin can. So we're going to have the Ranger with a double Armor Piercer just to help as we charge forward so we can maintain momentum. I don't know if that's going to pay off, but it is what it is. So we're going to check that out. So we'll have our Minotaur gunship off on the right. We'll have a Minotaur gunship off on the left. We'll have an Artemis kind of mid and a little bit to the back, and then we will have an adamant stack right next door. We'll give them a little bit of space there. All right. Hopefully we're gonna be all right. All right, bunnies, cross your fingers. So we've got Viper Mark IIs, Viper Mark IIs. Artemis Battlestar has guided munitions. We've got double armor piercer on the Ranger. We've got guided munitions on the 2 Adamants. We've got Viper Mark IIs, and we've got unguided munitions. I'm going to switch on over. Let's try out armor penetration missiles. Let's go armor penetration missiles, and then we can enable some of the big hitters to actually get in there with their guns. Proceed. Here we go. Obviously, we can't be so willy-nilly about chasing down Nemesis with the munitions, 3, but we'll see how 2, this goes. 1. We have enough Vipers. I think we can compensate and really just dish into hull. Here we go. This is the big one.
Cylon Dratus contacts already present at the landing zone, Commander. Freighters 1 and 2 are both accounted for. We need to clear the blockade so the Virgon pilots can make atmospheric entry.
And build nukes. Okay, so the Virgons have nuclear material. Our freighters are off on their own. It is unfortunate. We should probably have them maybe crank away.
So say we all.
And essentially start moving towards the Daedalus shipyard. Defend the Virgon nuclear freighters. Dear God, what are we doing? All right, boost thrusters with the Manticore. We're going to move to screen. We're going to head up and climb. for our Ranger, we're just all going to turn on the oblique. Yeah, everyone turn on the oblique. So we're going to maintain the formation for the most part. We're going to dive, but move in on the oblique. That's the idea. That's the idea. So let's go ahead and set adamant. We'll dive down. We'll place another adamant right on top, dive down. I don't know if we're going to crash there. Looks like we're generally okay. And then we'll come out on the oblique like so. Now, obviously, we don't all want to be in one spot, but I do need to move in this direction to make sure we can cut off the enemy, right? And then we'll take all of our adamants, the Artemis, and the Daedalus shipyard, and we're going to launch all squadrons. And let's go. So movement, they're heading directly at us. They're not charging for the nuclear freighters. Probably a Revenant here, I don't know. Minotaur gunship is taking the hits.
Mass detonation devices require 2 entities to arm. Commander, has it not occurred to you that the concept of nuclear testing was manufactured solely to inspire this very reaction?
Rot in hell, robot.
By your command.
By your command? Is she really going to rot in hell? That's awesome. Okay, so we do in fact have a Revenant right here. I'm assuming their bulwark are the Revenants. Those are the big guys. They're trying to take the brunt of the fight, right? So, I mean, at this point, what we can do, immediately take our Minotaur. This is the guy who's getting focused on. I'm going to switch on over to a defensive posture. I want to be cautious about this. We're going to crank it down, come in and present the right side. They haven't been hitting that yet. The adamants themselves are already on the angle they need to be. We'll go in and focus on the Revenant. We will fire munitions on the Revenant, and we are going to switch on over to an attack posture and just maintain their angle of approach. And that's allowing us to give broadsides on both sides. If he starts turning either way, he's going to get hit. The Artemis Battlestar, on the other hand, we can come... well, do I want to be in an attack posture right away? I suppose it's still fine.
Yes,
we'll come in on the angle like that, and then the Minotaur gunship will move to an attack posture, and we'll just maintain the same angle. Now, the Ranger, we can go into an attack posture. Actually, you know what? Let's stay neutral, and we're going to slow it down and start squaring off so that we're already able to send some shots, and maybe we'll climb a little bit. We'll climb so that we can shoot overhead and we don't have to worry about the travel path of the missiles or anything like that. With the Manticore, how are we doing? The left side's on 27, the right side's on 30, so they've already started to shell us. So let's go ahead and crank it out like this, and we'll turn and climb. Viper Mark IIs. Let's go ahead and focus. Let's bypass that Revenant, and I want to get to the back there. I bet they're going to start launching fighters soon. Let's just make sure the freighters can kind of group up and move towards the shipyard. I mean, that's all they can do. Okay. All right. Let's hold other munitions. Go.
Hostile unit identified.
Gunship's all right. We got triple Revenant. We have an Arachne. We've got an Arachne. Okay, there it is.
Artemis is taking
Incoming guided munitions. Artemis, the left side is completely open on the Artemis. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. I mean, it's a good thing that Damon Greeley's not inside, but still, I do not want to lose an Artemis. That's for sure. That would be not great. So this Revenant's left is open. This Revenant is almost done. I would say we can send armor piercers this way. They've got the Arachnes, though. Those things are nasty. We should probably open them up. So what are we dealing with? We've got a Raider squadron here. We got another Raider squadron here attacking the Manticore. I don't think he's going to get out of that alive. Let's see. What are our targets? So Arachne, unidentified. Nemesis, Arachne, Raider squadron, Revenant, unidentified, Raider squadron, and Revenant. Okay, so 3 Revenants, 2 Arachne, 2 Raider squadrons. Oh, make that 3 Raider squadrons. So who's able to launch? Are these 2 Talons then? I mean, it doesn't really matter. Let's go in and have the Vipers intercept. That's out to the Manticore. I want that Raider squadron right there, because they'll be able to peel into the next Raider squadron very, very soon. Now the Artemis, does have flak. So let's switch on over to defensive stance. We're going to turn over, crank
Yes,
it over,
sir.
and we are going to flak. Oh man, if I flak right now, I should wait on the flak, unfortunately. We're going to guided missiles into
Missile tubes prepped.
the weak left side of the Revenant. We have our Minotaur gunship. We're in an attack posture. We will turn towards the weak side of the Revenant, and we're going to focus fire on it. Now, we do have the Arachnes. I don't remember what they do. Honestly, I don't. But what I will do is launch double armor piercers. You know what, actually? I'm going to launch double armor piercers at the other Revenant. There.
Missile tubes
And then
prepped.
hopefully open up a hole that we can exploit, right? So how's our Minotaur gunship? The right side is still at 69. The left side's at 66. That's totally fine. Let's switch on over to an attack posture. We're going to dive, and we're going to focus fire on this Revenant right here. So he's next in line. This one's already going down, so that's fine. Our adamants, how are we doing on the adamants? Because I should really check. Seems like our armor is okay right now, so current course and heading is probably acceptable, but let's go and crank it on over.
On it, Commander.
And we are going to focus. Yeah, I guess we'll continue to focus fire on that guy. And then when he falls, we'll naturally start hitting that Revenant. Minotaurs are fine. The Artemis is cranking over in a defensive posture. And I mean, I will focus fire on the lead because I want him down. I don't want to stop attacking, and we're good. We're good. Let's just make sure the freighters are joining each other. So there it is, and we will just keep moving towards the shipyard. Now, oh, and then the Manticore. Okay, so the Manticore is getting hit pretty badly, right? And it's being harassed. Let's go ahead and send an armor piercer right at the... Well, I guess we can send it at the Arachne and find out what it does. Let's go ahead and turn tail like that, and we'll come off, give him the rear, and let's see how this does. So end turn.
Artemis is taking damage.
Artemis, it's down to 79, down to 77, 69,
Missiles incoming.
67. Oh my god,
Minotaur is
67.
taking damage.
Minotaur is down to 81. So we've taken some significant hits. So right now it looks like the top is down to 23. I'm assuming those come from the armor piercer. With the Revenant in the background, these are the missiles coming from the Ranger. They have not impacted yet. This is the other Revenant that we focused on. He's pretty much done. He has like no armor in the left, right, and front. And this Minotaur right here, the right and the front, has been completely trashed. Now, we're going to switch over to a defensive posture. We're going to crank it over to the right as hard as we can, stress the
Yes,
engine,
sir.
give them the left side, and start to rotate around. Our adamants are, believe it or not, we haven't been focused on yet, so that's a plus. But it's also not so great because it says something about who else they're focusing on, our Artemis, right? So we'll go in and give the broadside. We're going to focus fire on the Revenant here. Our Artemis, how can we get out of this one, yeah? The Artemis's left armor is busted. We're in a defensive posture. The hangar is... We can repair the
On it,
hangar.
Commander.
And we're actually going to turn and just
Yes,
keep
Commander.
turning, keep turning. We're giving him the right and eventually the rear, and then we can extend out and give him the right again if it survives, right? So with the Ranger, we have a 1 turn off. So let's go ahead and just take a moment and we'll climb and move left. We'll get out of the way. Our Minotaur on the right, it isn't really being focused, so we'll actually move. We'll focus on this Revenant and then hopefully naturally switch to the Arachne. The Manticore's still okay. I mean, it's still kind of okay. So we'll just kind of loop it around and give them the right. So double check. Where are we at? Data the shipyard. You're fine. Artemis is turning, going evasive. We've got the Ranger. It's taking a turn off on cooldown. The Minotaur, this one's getting busted. It's fully defensive. We've got another Minotaur who's gone fully offensive. Double adamants. The Manticore's turning. The freighters are probably okay, and then we've got the Vipers. Vipers, how are we doing with the Raider? He's down to 9. We've got another squadron right behind, so I think we're good. Are there any munitions that we can fire? Fire munitions? No. They're still loading the Artemis. Well, if we're turning this way, let's go ahead and flak to the right. I'm going to flak right with the Artemis as we swing that flak field around. And then with our Artemis, Adamant, Manticore. Manticore is still on cooldown, and the Rangers just fired. So here we go. This is quite chaotic.
Manticore is taking damage.
There's the flak wall.
Minotaur is taking damage.
And look at that. The flak wall is dropping out a lot of the unguided munitions. That saved our Artemis's butt. Holy crap. That's crazy. And it looks like our Minotaur has now... It's down to 54 hull. So our Minotaur is getting hurt pretty badly. Yeah. But you know what? We're still alive for the amount of time that we are. And I gotta say, that's pretty awesome. So let's take a look at our Vipers. How are we doing with the squadrons right now? We've got the Arachne, Nemesis, triple Arachne, Nemesis, Raider. We've got the other Raider. Let's go in and intercept that other Raider. I don't want him running around just getting free shots over and over and over. Get that guy out of the sky immediately. Our Manticore. We are 2 turns on the Armor Piercer. You know what? We've got to get in on the fight, but let's see how the other capital ships are going to manage. So right now, oh boy, this is quite a mess. This Revenant, his left side's open, the front's almost open. Let's get... We still have some left armor, the rear armor. I mean, we're just rotating him like a rotisserie chicken, right? So let's get that Minotaur out of there. The top's completely open. In fact, let's turn and let's try to climb. I don't think it's going to do anything. And I'm not even going to focus fire anywhere. Any gunshots he's got is a bonus right now, right? He's just drawing fire. We've got a Minotaur on this side. I mean, honestly, let's focus on Arachne. The top is mostly open, but we're not above. It's the Manticore that did that with Armor Piercer. Let's give the left... Well, actually, no. Let's drive right through him, and we'll just shoot everything that we can. We're literally going to try to drive through this mess and just shoot anything that we can. It doesn't matter. We can try to focus fire on the Arachne, I suppose, from the bottom. The Artemis flak wall saved our butt. We'll cancel that flak wall. And our right side's still viable, so let's crank her over. And we'll give just the right. The top is still viable, so let's do that. We've got a Ranger. Ranger's off cooldown. Let's go ahead and come it around.
Understood.
And we're going to fire Armor Piercers at the Arachne. Actually, you know what? At that freaking Revenant. I want that thing open like a tin can. So
Missile tubes
hit
prepped.
that. All right, so I think that might be all we got. Adamants, how are we doing? This Adamant's okay. Left's a little weak. But other than that, they haven't really been attacked. We're just driving right through the thick of things. So we're going to keep moving. We're going to focus fire on that Revenant from his left weak side. It is now open. And then our Manticore can probably get in on it as well. We're going to turn and we're going to try to engage the Arachne from this side, right? So attack posture. Our rear is weak. Our left is weak. Our right still has kind of armor-ish. So let's just turn, and obviously we're being tagged by the Raiders, so I don't like that, but it is what it is. We might lose him, but that's fine. Okay, let's see what we got. Holy crap. Revenant is dropping.
Minotaur is taking damage.
Arachne's getting open from the bottom. This Minotaur is without armor for the most part, but we're rotating. Come on, hit that guy. Okay, that Revenant is out. The Minotaur was able to rotate and just basically cycle armor around. That is amazing. Our Artemis didn't lose any additional hull. That's fantastic. We've got Vipers chasing away the last Raider squadron. We are firing upon the Arachne. Haven't lost any hull yet, but the bottom's now open because this Minotaur is just slamming in shots from the spinal mounts right into him. And we are sending more missiles at the Revenant. I mean, that's fine. So, Vipers, where are we at? I know we're focusing on the Raider, but I'm just going to use this to see what's left. The Arachne, Nemesis, Arachne, Nemesis. I think that's it. So keep focusing on the Raider. Their next natural target's going to be this Arachne. So let's go ahead and try to clean right to left. I don't know if it's going to be possible. Obviously, I want to collapse this Nemesis. He's going to start hacking, and that's going to be a bit of an issue, right? We've got the Battlestar artillery. That's still viable. Right now, the only armor we need to protect is the left side. Let's go ahead and switch on over to an attack posture. We're getting offensive with our Battlestar once again. And we're going to go ahead and crank it, and we just need to protect that left. Protect that left. Yeah? So we're going to be all right. It's going to be okay. We've got guided missiles. let's go ahead and send it out the side, and we're going to go ahead and focus on the Arachne that's already being focused. That's good. And we're going to focus fire. I guess we'll start to work on the next one already with the Battlestar artillery. So let's say okay. So that's the Artemis. Let's go top to bottom. There's a lot going on. So the Ranger, we've got to turn off. So let's turn, but start to crank it to the right. We're going to pull away from this chaos. Our Minotaur right here, honestly, I guess he'll continue to climb and rotate. He has some armor on the right and the rear, but he's basically got 3. So, I mean, at this point, he'll turn, just be fully defensive, and let's fire control. Yes, try to repair fire control at the same time. Don't know if he's going to make it, right? There's a lot going on. This Minotaur is still all right. We're just going to drive right through the thick of things, right down the middle. Keep focusing on the same. He's completely open on the bottom. Our adamants are still all right. That's great. I mean, we will just drive right through everybody. I mean, I suppose we can drive right here, and we will say that we're going to focus on this gentleman, but I assume we're going to be firing left and right. We're going to fire munitions, but we're going to fire at this Arachne next, and those are going to hit from the bottom. Then we've got our Manticore. Now the Manticores right in front are still viable, so just slow our roll, and until they start to target us again, we're coming in from this side. Focus fire right on the Arachne. Perfect. And then how are the freighters doing? I should probably pay attention. So we're gonna start moving towards the shipyard. Perfect. Okay, let's do it. Here we go. Shots on the Arachne. That guy's getting wrecked. Our Minotaur is almost gone. We lost the Minotaur. First casualty of war. Top's getting opened up on the Artemis now. Okay, so let's see. What do we got? Where are we at? Vipers. So we've got this Arachne. This Arachne now has 0 bottom hull. This is the second Arachne. Yeah, so we dropped out on Arachne. We've got left side's busted here as well on this Arachne. We've got a Nemesis. That's it. 2 Arachne and a Nemesis. Both the left sides on the Arachne are totally open. So we're just going to go move to clean up. Let's have our Vipers move to take out a Nemesis. I don't want all of these like mobile guys getting us. Let's go in and crank it on over.
On it, Commander.
We're going to be in an attack posture with a Ranger. And we're going to send armor piercers at the second Arachne. Yeah? I really should pay attention to what they're doing and see if maybe I should just switch to guided munitions, right? We've got our Artemis. He's starting to get hammered again. They're focusing back on the Artemis now that the Minotaur has been dropped out. So I almost feel like we should be in defensive posture. Our top is opening up. The front and the right are okay. I mean, I guess changing our orientation isn't going to change too much right now, because we are below the enemy. We're not going to be able to change that fact with any rapidity. So we'll just hang tight and hope for the best. I suppose we can flak wall right. Yeah, let's flak right. We're going to flak right, hopefully protect us from the Arachne a little bit if they've got munitions to send. We've got a remaining Minotaur, and we're going to just fly right by all of the Arachne.
Understood.
We'll climb a little bit. We've got our adamants, and we are going to turn this around. And let's go. And then we've got our Manticore, who is still viable. So let's just keep moving forward in an attack posture. We've got armor piercers. We'll send it and just hope that guy is out. So we've got to watch the Artemis, and watch the effect of our armor piercers on this Arachne. So let's see what we got. Artemis is still okay. Arachne here is getting worked. Artemis on the top down to 23. Here come the armor piercers. And it looks like they're kind of hitting on the front/top. So this should be interesting because you've got a whole line, 2 sets of armor piercers on this Arachne from the front or top. And we'll see how that goes. Right now, I don't know if we need to change anything with the approach of our Manticore. So it's going to keep going. It seems like they're not focused on it right now. The adamants are... I mean, I'm just going to be in an attack posture and fly right around the backside of the Arachne. I mean, I suppose we could fly back the way we came and then drive in with the broadsides. That would work pretty nicely with a light turret. And then the Minotaur will just continue to drive underneath them. I mean, they're in a pincer of a 3D style, and then we'll stay in the attack posture, turn towards the enemy. The Artemis is just relying on the DPS and coverage from its friends, and it will start to climb a little bit, I suppose. And then the Vipers are focused on the Nemesis. That's perfect. Sir. Nemesis is about to just get shredded. So I want to see the effect of the Armor Piercer here. Yeah? So let's watch this Arachne and go. At least one of your ships will collide this round. Oh, really? Is it the Adamants? What's happening? So one of our ships is going to collide, apparently. The Ranger? No. The Minotaur? Not that I'm aware of. The Adamants? Potentially the Adamants, I suppose? Maybe with a wreck or something like that? And then we got the Manticore. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it unless we're going to crash with a wreck. Oh, the transport. Okay. It's the transport. All right. That's fine. That's fine.
Yes, sir. All
right, now let's go. I was like, what the heck? I guess I have some ownership of the transport. God help them. All right, end the turn. What do we got? So the front is just melted armor-wise. Artemis. Oh, not good.
Artemis is taking damage.
Hang tight. Hang tight. Wow, significant damage from unguided munitions into the top of the Artemis. The Artemis's right side's open, the left side's open. Things are looking rough. We dropped out on Arachne. We dropped out a Nemesis, I believe. Let's focus on the Arachne, right? Arachne, Nemesis. Arachne, Nemesis. All focus on the Arachne. He's got big holes in him. There's no reason why we can't put him down quickly. Manticore, lead the target. Dive down. Focus fire. Send it. Adamants. Let's get that Minotaur. We're going to turn this around so the Adamants have some place to go. Focus fire right there. Perfect. Adamants. Give them the broadside. Don't stop. Don't stop. Climb even. Focus fire. There it is. Fire munitions. We're still on cooldown. Minotaur's gone. Ranger's ready. Let's go in an already cycle and give that Nemesis something to think about. So we've got the Arachne. There's the Nemesis. Armor Piercer to the Nemesis. There it is. Artemis. Artemis. Honestly, Artemis, just turn like crazy. Crank it out. Hard turn. Hard turn. We'll cancel that flak. And let's pray. Just pray right now. End turn. Here's the Arachne. Nail this guy. Drop him.
Taking damage.
There it is. How's the Artemis? Artemis down to 39. We've got Armor Piercers heading on over to the Nemesis. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. Wow. All right. Vipers, switch on over. We're going to go ahead and focus on the last target.
Is confirmed.
Manticore, let's go ahead and come off of the attack posture. We are going to move to engage the Nemesis. The transports are going to turn away from the Nemesis and just try to stay together near the Daedalus. Let's move bottom to top now, yeah? Adamants, we're going to move into boost thrusters, and we're going to move towards that Nemesis. We're not going to be lazy, and we're going to continue to engage all the way to the end of this engagement. This is a rough one, my gosh. Ranger, we already fired. Let's go ahead and turn towards our target. The Artemis is just fully defensive, just trying to repair this fire-guided munitions. Thank God we still have a fire control system. And let's see what happens to this Nemesis. Here it is. Go. Armor Piercers are chasing it. Oh my God. Okay, I don't think we need that many Armor Piercers. I almost feel like one Armor Pierce guided missile's probably good enough. That just dropped. It was like 2 impacts and it dropped all of the armor. He's already not like greatly armored. Let's just go end turn. We're not really dealing a lot of damage to the hull, so there it is. It's pretty epic. He sent shots off probably to the Artemis. Yes, probably to the Artemis. So what we're going to do, we have no armor on the right or the left. Let's go ahead and just turn to the left, and we're going to flak left. Can we still flak? Yeah, turn like that, flak to the left. Although I guess the flak's like way over there, which is unfortunate. Let's get our Ranger. We're just going to aim off snap off more shots. They can shoot like every other turn, which is very impressive with munitions, right? Very, very impressive refire rate. And we're just going to continue to boost. Continue to boost forward. The Manticore, we are going to boost forward. There it is. We'll send armor piercers
Missiles
as
on their
well. The adamants, fire munitions, and let us go. Here it is. Incoming missiles. And they impacted on the Artemis. Artemis is still okay. That hull is tough, but you got to take care of it, right? Okay, honestly, let's just chase this thing down, and the Vipers are going to take care of business. Oh, I think we're all relatively... Maybe we should slow our roll and just form a defense around the freighters. I don't know if there's going to be more reinforcements. I have a bad track record, a very bad track record with the freighters in this game. And then we'll get our adamants. We're going to turn off boost thrusters, and let's just crank it over and start to circle the wagons, right? No idea what's about to happen.
Yes,
Minotaurs close by. The Artemis is just trying to survive. And we'll cancel that flak. Launching
Understood.
guided munitions. And let's go. Here it is. All right, Nemesis in the distance. These are the shots from the Artemis. They're only catching up now. Come on, guy. I mean, let's be real. Let's be real. Just give up now. Just give up now. And we will, let's say, just make your death quick. How about that? Sven? Oh, yeah, he's dead. Okay, great. Is that it? Please be game over.
Dratus is
Oh,
clean.
thank God.
Freighters 1 and 2 are clear to begin descent.
Holy moly.
There is something you should understand, Commander. At every juncture, the Cylon people remain at the whim of human endeavor. You build your ships and your guns, and we respond in kind. Now you insist on nuclear weaponry. After today, so shall we.
Sounds scared.
I am Klothos, and we should all be scared of what stirs, shipbuilder.
Comms channel is dead. Commander, I don't know who or what that was. We have to tell Kane about this, don't we?
I mean,
Not my
yeah.
place to tell you people how to do your jobs, but she will find out, one way or the other.
Why would we hide it from Admiral Kane? I don't understand that. But you know what? We freaking won. We lost a Minotaur, but not too bad at all. I definitely want to watch that. That was a long one. So that got so chaotic. So chaotic. They had 3 Arachne. They had multiple Revenants. They had Nemesis. They had Raiders. They had so much. So there is the lead Revenant right there. And they start shelling the heck out of our Artemis. Oh boy. Okay, there are the Revenants. First Revenant down. That's our Minotaur gunship. There's their next Revenant. And our Artemis, you can see it in the background there, is peeling off. Right now, our Minotaur gunship, that's the one we lost, the Ballista. Our Artemis is fully defensive. There's their Arachne. Ooh, boy. And mind you, this whole time the Ranger is firing armor piercers. So I wish we could see it, but obviously the camera's focusing on all the frontline action. But I'll be perfectly honest, sometimes it's difficult to understand visually which one's the Ranger and which one's not for me. Oh, dear God. There's the Arachne. Okay, so that's the first Arachne that was on the right. Manticore continues to hit the flank on the Arachnes. At this point, both Arachnes had breaches on the left. That guy's got breaches everywhere. Oh my gosh. I totally thought that the Cylons... that Helena said that the Cylons had nuclear weapons, and that's why we are getting nuclear weapons, but now those are armor piercers. If those were guided munitions, I think that guy'd be done. But it sounded like the Cylons had nuclear weapons, and that's why we're trying to make nuclear weapons. So it's strange that the Cylon came in and said, you get nuclear weapons, and you realize we'll have them too, right? It's like, I thought you already had them. Unless we're being lied to. Either way, it's an arms race. And now we're just chasing. Golly, man, that one was brutal. I'm glad we had the Vipers. There it is. Man. There it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we survived. Let's see how this rolls out. We actually have access to an Atlas and a nuke now, believe it or not. The following blueprints have now been unlocked. Atlas, nuke. So we're going to go to blueprints, and we actually have 4,316 requisition. So here's an Atlas carrier. I have no idea what that is. The Atlas is an iconic remnant of Vergon's imperialist history. Slow and densely armored, the Atlas carrier now provides powerful fighter support for modern Colonial Fleet groups. So it has 2 Raptors and 2 squadrons. So it has 3 squadrons on board. That's very, very, very cool. So obviously I like the Vipers, so that's awesome. If we compare that to the Adamant, I mean, it's 450 to 1,100 fleet points. I mean, that's quite potent, but it has, well, 2 more squadrons as compared to the Adamant. On top of that, it's got top, bottom, and broadside turrets. Broadside's heavy turrets. Oh my god. Man, this is awesome. Look at that. Rear armor 80, front armor 80, but left and right 120, 140 on the top, and bottom 120. I feel like this is an Adamant on crack. It's an Adamant on crack. I'm going to purchase the heck out of that. That is awesome. So now we have access to an Atlas carrier. And what is this? Another Battlestar. Oh my god. And nuke munitions. Single high-yield nuclear missile. Is it guided is the question. Guidance is target. Oh, holy crap. Wow. So what's the difference? Let's say we've got 1,000 meters per second on a torpedo, and we've got 400 meters per second on a nuke. What is that comparable to? Our guided munitions are 500 meters per second, so this is even slower. The fire, so I guess the closest thing we can compare it at the moment is with the guided munition. The nuke payload is 160, an explosion range 2,500 meters. What? 2,500? Do not fire this at close range. Holy crap. We fire 1 single nuclear missile, subsystem damage immediate, hull damage, armor damage 160, explosion radius. Wow, and a firing delay of 5 seconds. So I'm assuming that you fire this and then you've got to wait like 5 or 6 turns before you can shoot again. Because the guided munitions on most of the ships, it's a 3-turn delay at 2 seconds. So if that's the case, I assume that it's going to be maybe even like 7 or 8 turns. You shoot this and then you get in the thick of things. Wow, that's crazy. I'm definitely going to unlock that. I'm definitely going to unlock that. Oh my god. The nuke munition can now be equipped by any unit with a munition slot during FTL insertion. I mean, let's... During FTL insertion? Oh, gotcha. We can equip them during FTL insertion. Well, that's pretty... I don't know how I feel about that. That's awesome, I suppose. Well, let's go to build ship. We can now make an Atlas carrier. 450. That's it. That's it. 450 Tillium. That's epic. 1,100 if we want to rush it. We could totally rush one and get it into the fight, but that seems like not a smart thing to do. So I'm going to go ahead and build out maybe a couple of these, and we'll let that roll. And then I suppose in the background, we lost another Minotaur gunship. I'm going to build one of those as well. There we go. So we can actually manage those 3 at the same time, and we'll say done. As far as officers go, I think Gisela... It's not Gisela. That's 90 requisition points. It's Damon. Damon can get the upgrade. That's awesome. He's already maxed out on command. 5% damage reduction on the flagship. I mean, that's for him is the Daedalus shipyard. So we're just going to go down the CIC subsystem strength. That's pretty epic. And we can probably get into one more, right? We can get into one more. So what do we have going on right now? We have just cleaned up Chapter 9. We've got Chapter 10, negotiations. So what's the deal with this?
Sir, I've just intercepted an encrypted message. I've brought it straight to you. It's from the Cylon.
I request peaceful negotiations with the operational commander of the Daedalus.
What?
No Admiral Kane. No members of Quorum. Send a proxy to the following coordinates at Geminon to facilitate these communications.
Why?
Why does the civilian here have to point out that this is clearly a trap?
Commander, normally I would agree with Sinan, but I can't shake the feeling that Klothos knows something that we don't, but clearly should. We're so far in the dark right now, we may as well be flying blind. We obviously tell our people to prepare for an ambush, but I think it's worth the risk for whatever information Klothos is prepared to share.
Hope for the best. Prepare for the worst.
I mean, that is not a good thing. Coordinates are outside of Geminon's atmosphere. Klothos will be present and has consented to a Colonial Fleet proxy to establish direct communication with the Daedalus. Dude, Admiral Kane is going to flip her lid. Are you kidding me? I mean, I would probably flip my lid. We're not supposed to tell her. I mean, what is this? Let's go to the Cylon fleets. We've got 5,600 at Fleet 79. We've got 2,000 at 76, 1,800 at 117, and 3,900 over here. They're all in one place. That's crazy. So, let's see, Fleet Group Trainee. I mean, they've got a hold position, so let's just have them hang tight. The Daedalus, we should probably start jumping. Let's get a little bit closer. Can we get to Gnosis? That's out of range. We actually have to go to Gortine first, don't we? Or, oh man, we got to go to Gortine. We're so far away. That means Gisella's alone. All right, let's go ahead and confirm the jump. We're going to get to Gortine. We're going to hang tight right here with Fleet Group Pogo. Currently, we are fortifying here. There's not much benefit to that, right? Now this, though, that's different. Minus 40% supply cost plus 20% Tilium from fortified colonies. That's huge. So we're going to go ahead and jump and just get that fortification bonus right there. This one for Fleet Group Trainee, we've got officer promotion cost, ship build cost. Is there anything else that we can benefit from? +1 to Cylon FTL cooldown, +4 Tilium from unfortified colonies. I mean, that's always helpful too. So let's go ahead and jump. And we're going to head out to Sagittarian. So that's going to be a jump. So we've got 3 fleets jumping. And right now, what are we fortifying out here? Paprika. Supply costs, Tilium from fortified colonies. Honestly, we hang tight right here. Do not move. Okay. Well, let's end turn. What's happening with these fleets? Cylons are just hanging out. Okay, fair enough. We've got to keep moving, keep moving. Jump on in. Confirm the jump for Daedalus. And let's just hang out. All right, they're backing out.
Action stations.
And there's the engagement.
1 throughout Daedalus.
Okay, I do not know what is attacking us or how much. So let's see what we've got. This is going to be our last one for the night. My gosh, we're all approaching. I mean, I guess we can field some nukes. Let's field some nukes. We don't have the Atlases yet, but we can definitely test out the nukes, right? We've got a Ranger. This seems like a bad idea. Thermonuclear warhead. I mean, I suppose we can shoot one and hold on to one so that we can kind of interweave the cooldowns. I don't know how that's going to work. So we've got nuke and nuke. There we go. God help us. Okay. This is a little terrifying. All right, so we got a Ranger. We're going to stay out on the backside here. Maybe we'll stay a little bit higher because I want to shoot over the heads of our people. This could backfire, I would imagine. Let's go ahead and place ourselves right in the middle of the square. And we'll come up until we're green. There it is. We've got our Artemis Battlestar still. We're still alive there. That's great. We'll, I suppose, be on the diagonal right here. We've got 1 Minotaur gunship because we lost our last one. And then, of course, we've got our scout right here. All right. Here we go.
Jump in
We're
3,
missing out on the Minotaur.
2,
We've got
1.
one Minotaur. But we have more CIC subsystem strength, so we can really boost our output if we need to, right? So what are we dealing with? We've got 6 enemy contacts. No idea about their fleet group strength at all. So let's have our Manticore. We're going into boost thrusters. Forgot we still have the armor piercer, right? Totally forgot. I mean, I guess we'll use that to our advantage then. We'll just try to, you know, breach, and we just need to make sure that we're close enough that we can take advantage. We'll go in and boost thrusters. We'll get our adamants to crank on over, and we'll head right into them. That's the adamant stack. They'll launch all squadrons. We've got the Artemis Battlestar. We're going to boost on up, and we're going to move in parallel. We're going to dive down, and we're going to go ahead and launch our battles, or launch our Vipers. And then we've got our Minotaur. We're going to boost in and try to get a little bit ahead here. And then our Ranger is going to keep its distance and just hover around with a very slow moving nuke. We've got 2 nukes. It looks like our adamants do need to separate a little bit though. There it is. And then the Daedalus is going to launch and launch. All right, here we go. End turn. They seem to be heading down in this direction. They're kind of slow on the approach. They're turning rather slowly. I don't know which is a Nemesis. They might have Revenants, they might have Talons, who knows, right? So maybe we'll slow our roll a little bit. We're going to let the Vipers take the lead. We're going to select the left and maybe roll up the left side, left to right, left to right. At least if we crank on over.
Understood.
Let's turn off boost thrusters. If we crank over with the Manticore, then we at least have the option to vamoose and get the heck out of Dodge, right? We will have our adamants. We're going to turn off boost thrusters, and we are going to dive. We'll get the gunship, and we're going to dive, but keep boost thrusters on. And then I'm going to come down, but we'll be neutral here because, well, actually, no, we'll boost thrusters because if we need to flak, we can flak. And we'll start to crank over to the right just so that we can spin and turn out a flak to the left if needed. We might need to just preempt it at some point, right? And I think that is all. End turn.
IFF confirms.
All right, we've got 2 incoming. Maybe Arachne, maybe Talon now. It's a little different.
IFF confirms.
Revenant, Nemesis. Okay, so we've got 2 Raider prototype squadrons. We've got 2 Revenant. We've got a Nemesis in the middle. Maybe Talons, maybe Arachne, no idea. Now that we know that they can be different. So let's go ahead and get we'll get the Minotaur. He's going to crank over. And we're going to low down. And we're going to send Armor Piercer right into the very heavy Revenant closest to him. We've got the Viper Mark IIs. We're going to go in and select a target. We're going to select the Raider prototype squadron and move to intercept. We've got our adamants. We're going to switch over to an attack posture. It seems like the focus is on the Artemis once again. So we're going to come... I'm going to break to the left, but I'm going to try to be ready to go down the middle. So we'll go ahead and angle off and give them the right side. We'll go ahead and focus on the Nemesis, I suppose. I just don't want to deal with the hacking. It's more annoying, but it can also be devastating at the same time, at the wrong time, right? Minotaur gunship, let's keep a neutral posture, and we're gonna get more distance and dive. And then the Artemis Battlestar, I mean, we honestly need to dive. And I imagine they're gonna be sending munitions very, very soon. So let's turn off boost, go to a defensive posture, crank it over to the right side, dive as much as we can, and we're gonna throw at flak left, although flak left is over there, so maybe we need to get ready. So we're defensive already, and we'll prepare for flak left. They're gonna focus on us pretty heavily, I would imagine. Guided missiles, we'll go ahead and send it on the Nemesis. Adamants, we'll send guided missiles at the Revenant out here, along with the Armor Piercer. And I think with the Ranger, So this is kind of scary. I'm going to go ahead and send one nuke. I'm going to send one nuke at this brand new fresh Revenant right there. There we go. Launching a nuke, but in an attack posture. All right, let's see how this goes. Send it.
Missiles incoming.
Artemis. There's a nuke. Hit that Nemesis. Hit that Revenant. Okay, so this right here is quite a payload. Interesting. So if you take a look right now, the nuke, it says 0 out of 1. So even though we've got a cooldown, if I tilt my head like this, there's a cooldown of 1. I'm wondering if we have more. That might be it. So this Ranger may be a 2-puncher. So you definitely don't want 2 nukes if that's the case, but we'll find out in a turn, right? Whether that actually gets reloaded or not. That's good to know. That's very good to know. Select targets. How are we doing? That Raider is getting engaged. That's perfect. Good to go. Manticore is now switching over to an attack posture. They definitely have juicier targets right now. We've got 2 Talon, 2 Revenant, and 2 Nemesis. Makes sense. And we're going to go ahead and slow our roll and dive. And we're focusing on the Revenant. We've got armor piercers on the way. So hopefully that's going to give us an opportunity to engage. We've got our adamants. We're going to focus on the Revenant. That's already being done. So we'll just go ahead and just cruise right on by and give them the broadside. That's perfect. Our Minotaur, attack posture now. And we're going to crank into them. And we're going to dive down and head straight on in. I actually think we'll kind of come at a little bit of an oblique so that we can actually get our guns to different targets at the same time. We'll keep focusing on the Nemesis, try to drop that guy out. Artemis Battlestar, we can actually flak left now, right? Flak left. There it is. Send it out. And are we good? Then we got the Ranger. I mean, we could shoot another nuke. You know what? Screw it. We should probably shoot another nuke. Let's do it. Let's crank left. We've got a nuke. Let's hit one of the Talons in the back because this thing has a blast radius, right? Let's hit that Talon. Send it. All right, we've got 2 nukes to send. Let's go.
Missiles incoming.
Flak protecting the Artemis. Revenant's top is open. We have a Nemesis down. And these nukes are slow, but they're coming. We should probably clear the blast. You know what? Here we go. Crank left, dive. There's something heading for you, buddy. There's something heading right to you. Okay, so our left is not looking so hot right now. So let's go ahead and cancel the flak. And we're going to crank it on through, right? So let's go ahead and turn, hard turn, stress those engines. Actually, you know what? Let's keep it as tight as possible. Stay away from them.
Yes, sir.
Stay away from them. There's something coming their way that I'm a little nervous about getting too close to. Let's put it that way. Viper Mark IIs, have you cleared the squadrons? We've cleared the squadrons. You know what? I feel like maybe we should focus on these guys out here. Let's try to stay away from that area. That's probably a good idea. And then Manticore, you know what? You might as well just stay completely still. Just stand still like a turret. Don't get any closer. I mean, honestly, they're probably going to be terrified how much firepower we have, right? And we're going to start to crank the adamants on over. Minotaur is staying away. That's great. Ranger can probably come into a neutral posture. And it looks like munition supply depleted. The Ranger is now out of munitions. That is a good thing to know. That's a good thing to know. So probably not the best missile, like, nuke platform. How are we doing with the adamants? Fire munitions? Nope, no go. Artemis. We're on cooldown. All right. That is a nuke, and it's coming his way. What do we got? How are we doing?
Artemis is taking damage.
Ooh! Oh, God. All right. That guy's dead. That guy's dead. All right. There's another where that came from, buddy. There's another where that came from. How are we doing? Are we all right? Yeah, we're kind of all right. The bottom of the Artemis, not so much. Well, tell you what. Let's go and crank this over. And let's not get closer. That probably seems like a good idea. Let's go. Let's go in and repair. Minotaur, you know what? You're not going to be shooting. You're going to go that way. And you're going to stress your engines and maybe stay farther away. That's probably a good idea. Let's have Jesus, that's terrifying. Nuke indeed. Holy crap. Hit that
Weapon
nemesis.
target is
Vipers,
confirmed.
head away. Head that way. That's probably a good idea. Manticores, you know what? Just watch the fireworks. Honestly, it's a good day indeed to be part of the Colonial Fleet. Let's... Artemis, yeah, we're just cranking it on over with defensive formation. The Ranger is not doing anything. There's nothing left for it to do. Let's be real. And I think we're good. End turn. There's the other one. Here it is. This guy still has full armor. He doesn't have full armor. Holy God. Wow. Okay, that's... It's like Pokemon. It's super effective. Yeah, that thing is super effective. Love that. All right, everyone back to it. I'm sure there's no fallout or anything. Get back in the fight. You know how it is. Let's go. Bring that around. And we're going to go in and focus that poor soul. There it is. Okay. Holy crap. Wow, that's terrifying. And we are just going to head out this way. And we're switching over to an attack posture, believe it or not. And we are going to drop focus fire, not on that guy, but that guy. He's all that's left. Guided munitions, send it. Now we're going to our Ranger. I mean, forget the Ranger. That's that. He doesn't have anything to do anymore. He doesn't even know what combat is like anymore. That's all he needed was end of all times in the apocalypse, right? That's great. And we're going to go ahead and focus fire on the outside Talon. Fire munitions on the outside Talon, perfect. And the Manticore is going to fire armor piercers on the outside Talon because he's not the one that got hit with the nuke. And select targets, it's just these two. Go ahead and keep focusing until he's done. Last two targets on the field. That guy is...
Subsystem
Ow.
repair.
That guy is the only one left. God help you. Oh my God. Oh my God, that is terrifying and awesome at the same time. Wow. Okay, I gotta see the replay on that. Damon Greeley, once again, firsts all around. Let's go. So we found out what a nuke does, and I love it. Okay. All right, we've launched Vipers. Oh, no, those are the Raiders. Raiders are bumping into each other. They're so excited about what's coming for them. Here it comes. All right, we are engaging. Revenants are now in contact. We see our targets, and we are launching guided mute. Oh no, armor piercers. That is a nuke. That is a nuke, by the way. And then there's another where that came from. Revenant down, Nemesis down. I bet the cameras have a priority focus on nukes when they're about to go off, so I cannot wait, honestly. There's the Revenant. Oh God, man, even our frames per second dropped on that one. That's how terrifyingly horrible, how horrifying the damage is. There's another where that came from on a Talon. Well, that guy's gonna have a bad day. There it is. Man, that is... You know, I'd be okay with a fleet of like 3 Rangers and 6 nukes. That's probably a good start to any engagement. Total damage inflicted, 305 damage. Munitions damage inflicted, 305.1. Oh my God, that is amazing. Wow. I'm curious if all of a sudden we'll get an achievement for being a horrible human being or an amazing human being because we didn't kill other humans, right? Awesome. Wow. Well, you know what? I think that's a good place to end. Well, bunnies, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I think I've learned something about myself today. I love nukes. That's... That is awesome. My God, as long as we're not close by, I'm all about that. That's great. Probably don't want 2 on a Ranger because that's all it can do in the whole battle. But my God, what it can do in the whole battle is pretty significant. So that's incredible. I realize there's a lot that happened in this episode, but the only thing I can remember are those 2 nukes. They left quite an impression on me, and I'd have to say they left quite an impression on the Cylons. So if you enjoyed the episode, please feel free to like, share, or comment down below. It helps us a great deal. I had a total blast. I hope you did as well, and I can't wait to get into the next one with you. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.